the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you. I came out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. It's your brother Carney coming at you with another lesson. And this is going to be real quick. And this is going to be called Mark Carney Dragon Talk. Okay? This is a perfect example of coming as a lamb and speaking as a dragon. All right? I want to see if you brothers could understand what is being said here. Right? Because I asked all the brothers in my camp to answer this question. Brothers couldn't answer it, and I don't expect most of you brothers to understand what's going on. I just not what's going on, but what is being said here. Because Esau speaks in a serpentine way, and I've been studying the way Esau speaks for a while. You know, Esau's mindset for a few months now. I've been going deep into his mindset, and listen to what is being said in the first 35 seconds. And I want you to, after you listen to it, pause the video, and if you're willing to do it, I'm not giving no orders or anything like that, but if you're willing to do it, to practice and challenge yourself, try to see how if you can break down, what is being said and who really benefits from this. And I'm going to break it down right now. Let's go ahead and play this.
After a busy and dizzying week on Parliament Hill, Prime Minister Mark Carney's government revealed its plan to try and bolster Canada's economy with its first federal budget, billions of new spending in there. The budget prioritizes infrastructure, productivity, and defense, with few new measures aimed at everyday Canadians. The government is looking to boost the economy, one the Bank of Canada says is weak, hammered by the U.S. tariff and trade uncertainty. But it all comes at a cost, with significant cuts to some government programs and the public service.
So you heard that, and it sounds like it's good for the people, right? Okay. Let's go. But I know some brothers would understand this. I'm sure certain elders are good with the way Esau speaks and things like that. The elder Ariala, the elder, elder Require Quam, so on and so forth. But this is something that would confuse me. Months ago, I would be confused by this. What the hell is this devil talking about? Because they speak in a very serpentine way. So I'm going to read this scripture, and then I'm going to go ahead and break down what is actually being said here. Or maybe, let me read the scripture first. Let's read the scripture. This is Revelations 13 and verse 11, and it reads, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb," right, which is the Republican and Democrat, "and he spake as a dragon." They're working together. They're coming as a lamb, like they're coming to help you, but they're speaking as a dragon. This is perfect. This is a perfect example of dragon talk. Let's go ahead and play this.
After a busy and dizzying week on Parliament Hill, Prime Minister Mark Carney's government revealed its plan to try and bolster Canada's economy with its first federal budget, billions of new spending in there.
There's billions of new spending, right? Let's see where this spending is going.
The budget prioritizes infrastructure.
Infrastructure, very important. Who owns these infrastructure companies? The elites own the infrastructure companies. There's no Negro or any tribe that owns it. This is straight up the oligarchs that own these infrastructure companies. Okay? You understand that? That's how Esau has control. That's where Esau really wins, is with the infrastructure. Because he can also paint it as if it's to help you, and he could have your tax dollars pay him for these different these different things. You understand? So that money going to the infrastructure, that's not going to the people. That's going to the government, and they're going to choose what infrastructure to invest into. Okay? Understand that. And it's for their benefit, really, to push forward this digital age. Okay? Let's go.
Productivity and defense.
Productivity. What's going to boost productivity? What's boosting productivity right now? AI taking over people's jobs. That's what's boosting the productivity for these corporations. You see what I'm saying? You have to understand what this devil's saying. So he's putting the money into the infrastructure, which is for what? For the oligarchs companies. Okay? And then he's increasing productivity, which means more AI taking over people's jobs. Let's continue.
With few new measures aimed at everyday Canadians. The government is looking to boost the economy, one the Bank of Canada says is weak, hammered by the U.S. tariff and trade uncertainty. But it all comes at a cost, with significant cuts to some government programs.
Significant cuts to some government programs. Sound like SNAP, sound like welfare. Yes, they're going to cut these programs in Canada as well. The same thing that Trump is doing. Okay, this is not just an American takeover. They're really doing this. It's just a worldwide siege, ultimately. Okay? All right? And it's going to get bad, especially in these so-called first world countries. So what he's doing, he's going to cut these government services for you people while he's putting money into these oligarchs' pockets through this infrastructure, and also taking your jobs through AI. This is what's being said here. But they're saying it in a way like that. Oh, they're going to boost the economy. Boost it for who? For whom? You see? Let's go.
And the public service.
And it's going to cut public services. You see that? So you got to understand what's being talked. In this 35 seconds, that was all dragon talk. But he came as a lamb. All right? When I heard that, I said, oh, shit. Okay? Most people are not going to get this or understand what's going on. All right? But there is some people that are going to be like, wait a minute. Right? A minority. Because the way Esau speaks is very deceptive. You know? They act like the way they speak makes them intelligent. It doesn't make you, the way you speak doesn't make you intelligent. Okay? How eloquent your speech does not make you intelligent. Really, when you speak in a complicated manner, that's really, a sign of deception. Something that could be made simple, you make it complicated, that's a sign of deception. Right? Kind of like these other camps in their MOTB breakdown. Okay? So, that's the bottom line, man. So I just wanted to play that real quick. When I heard this, the spirit was roused up in me. So Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect, and I'll say shalom.